Drinking this album, listen to the brews. I think it would pair well, if only for you, 'cause it's album brews. It's album brews.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Album or Brews, the stickiest and most emo music podcast. Teenagers scare the living shit out of me. My name is Sarah.
Teenagers scare the living shit out of me too. My name is Zach.
My name is Danny. That's the only song from this album that I skip when I listen to it. I know that might be sacrilegious. God, it just gets in my head and I can't get it out. I listened to it this morning to refresh my memory, and it's still, I can't, if I zone out during the podcast, it's probably because my brain's just like, teenagers here in my head. My name is Danny, and I'm the leader of the Black Parade.
Ow! Ow! And we are here for a very exciting episode of Album or Brews. Should I just play the real quick?
Just starting off with it, running.
Sounds like the 6th grade.
Sounds like grass stains on my knees and
Folks, we're doing it today. We're talking about The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
And who are we talking with about the Black Parade?
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm from CalicoLoco. And it's my favorite album.
Yeah!
Probably.
That's
It
awesome.
definitely was my favorite when I was 12. And then I tried to be cool and pretend like I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But now I'm back.
Now it's
And
cool
I
again
don't-
to like it.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I used to get bullied for liking this
And-
album. And now everybody's like, people who bullied me, like posting on Facebook, oh, I love My Chemical Romance is back. And like, I can't be mad. Like, I'm happy that they came around.
yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
we need more. I don't know, do MCR fans have like a name? Like,
I feel like
does the fandom have?
were you also on Tumblr as a teen?
Yes.
I was MCR adjacent on Tumblr because I had a really big like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, Paramore, 21 Pilots phase. And so I was never like super into MCR, but I would see a lot of their content because it was all under that sort of like emo umbrella. And so I noticed they would often be addressed as like several titles, all corresponding to the different albums that they've put out. So there was like a different name for the group based on each album. So there was like Members of the Black Parade and The Killjoys and da-da-da-da.
Oh, yeah, the Killjoys.
Yeah.
Now everyone's a killjoy.
Now everyone's a
I
Killjoy.
love to see it.
Reject modernity,
Yeah.
embrace tradition. We're getting back to our roots.
And they're gonna be at Riot Fest this year.
Yes,
which
they
is gonna
sure
be
freaking are.
Huge. Are you guys going?
We'll see. I haven't paid for a ticket.
Is it already sold out? The MCR day?
Probably.
Like, I think it sold out like 3 years ago, and then got canceled,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's back. And
It'll definitely be sold out by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be the last 3 people to get tickets.
I don't know if I'm a festival person anymore. That's a young man's game.
Honestly, yeah. After a certain point,
Like, my back
knees
hurts.
I would be a festival person for MCR.
You would-
I'd
yeah,
be the
I
person
would
who
too.
stands at the front row for like the entire day, like doesn't use the bathroom, and just like doesn't vibe to any of the bands, just waiting in line.
Just waiting, just disgruntled for 8
Staying
hours.
seated for the openers, like
Yeah.
getting a nice sunburn. Danny, would you quickly tell us? I was so curious to hear you pick this album because it is, I wouldn't say like a stark opposite, but it's so different from CalicoLoco sonically. CalicoLoco is such a fun musical project. It is so freaking like,
So dancey and
I was reading
good.
your Spotify description and it was something like the sonic equivalent of like a bedazzled denim jacket.
Oh yeah, that's Zeke said that once, and that's how we've described ourselves since.
It's perfect. If you guys want some like sounds of the summer, check out CalicoLoco, please.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
do it.
But I'm curious, like, what got you into the Black Parade?
Oh God, it's kind of funny because my dad was the first one who showed me, and like my dad doesn't listen to
Your dad
this
showed
kind of-
you when you were a young boy?
when I was a young boy. Exactly, he put it on, and he would always play "Welcome to the Black Parade," And it's funny because he like only listens to like reggaeton or like Afro-Cuban jazz or salsa music because that's all he listens to. But he would always play the Black Parade. That's the song Welcome to Black Parade all the time. And I just like eventually I was like, I wonder if they have any other songs because I'm 12 years old and I don't know how anything works.
Yeah.
So I Googled them and I found like, whoa, they have all these songs. So I like begged my dad to buy me the album because I was a good little Christian boy, and I couldn't listen to the songs on YouTube because they were explicit. So I asked him to buy the clean version,
The clean CD.
on iTunes, and that was my first album I ever bought.
Wow.
And I listened to it all the time, and even to this day, sometimes I sing some of the lyrics wrong because I sing the clean. I sing the clean version. We'll be doing karaoke. We'll be doing karaoke, and I'll be like, "Wait, well, I don't remember this part of the song."
I love that. Who would like to introduce the beer?
You want to do it, Danny, since you discovered it?
Yeah, I don't know much about beer, so I hope I get things right. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what a hop is.
It's like a small jump.
When I picked it, I was thinking of like something dark and something edgy because like My Chemical Romance like makes my heart feel like a black hole. At least it did when I was like 12. Now I'm like, so I picked a really dark beer, and then this one has like cherries in it. It's like sweet. It's cherries. It's also like quirky because it's got pretzels in it too. Apparently, I didn't know about that when I picked it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of like all the scene kids in like middle school, dark and quirky. And I was like, oh, this will be the beer.
Yeah, they were always like black clothes, but like pink or purple in their hair, right?
This
That
is
could
like
be-
if you're going to the mall, you're going to go to Hot Topic, but then you're also going to go to Auntie Anne's
Yes.
and get a
Yeah.
pretzel and a slushie.
There's the pretzel.
Yeah.
It works. But this is an imperial stout with cherries, pretzel, vanilla, and cocoa nibs.
Ooh.
So I'm excited for the palate on it. Let's try it. Oh, it's dark.
Yum,
Wow,
yum.
that's so good.
That like almost tastes, it tastes like beer, but it almost tastes like red wine a little bit because of the cherry.
Because of the sweet aftertaste.
There's like a million flavors. Yeah. But it's so good.
Who makes this?
Pipeworks.
Pipeworks Cherry got you covered.
And it's the only beer I've ever seen only come in a 2-pack. And I got the last 2.
Oh,
Dude.
really?
Yeah.
That's delicious.
It's so good. I'm trying to find the pretzel flavor. This is great podcasting.
I think this is my favorite dark beer I've ever had. I
Yeah.
love
Nice.
dark beers. I don't really know much about beers because like whenever I go to a restaurant and they ask for like beer, I just like, oh, just give me something dark.
Yeah.
I never follow up, but yeah,
This is yummy.
I'm going to follow up on
Yeah,
this.
stouts are prime dark beer.
Like I said earlier, like I didn't have a super huge emo phase, but I was like tangentially kind of into this music. And I will say first and foremost, like I regret doing this, but I don't regret the first part. I regret the second part. Hold please. I bought this album on vinyl when I was on a lunch break when I worked at Party City in high school. It was like this super cool limited edition that had this like cool cover art where, we're going to talk about sort of like the storyline of the album, but you see like sort of this like little patient surrounded by all the people of the Black Parade. And it was a 3-sided, like 2-disc record. And on the 4th side was like, it was kind of like a picture disc, but it was like etched. So it's just like the black vinyl with like etched Black Parade imagery. It's super sick. And then I sold it because I was really broke in college. And I regret doing that.
How much did you get for it?
I don't remember because I sold a bunch at a time and got maybe like $60 total.
Dang.
Yeah. But to sort of try and get into the mindset, right, to talk about this kind of music, I was looking at a bunch of Spotify podcasts like emo legends and shit like that, just to try and, get more familiar with this vibe. And then that sort of inspired me, co-inspired me with a tweet that I saw by Ethel Vanny, who tweeted, "This is the funniest playlist Spotify has ever made." And it was a picture of a playlist called Beats to Think To.
And it's just a guy thinking.
It's just a guy sitting in like what looks like an interrogation room,
Interesting.
looking very sad in a suit. So I put together a little game after seeing Beats to Think To. I put that playlist on. I think I'm going to put it on now, actually. We're just gonna put it on like really subtly
Oh, during the game.
during the game.
I like this.
Thinking.
I hope
Wow.
this really sparks it.
Never thought so hard on this podcast before. Oh, man.
So I started diving deep into Spotify's curated playlists curated by Spotify. And they have a lot of very niche ones for very particular, not just moods, but situations, foods, clothing styles. They've really got a playlist for everything and everyone. So I have a couple here. Both of you will be on a team, and I want you to tell me if this is or is not a real Spotify playlist.
Now, we have a really big bar to live up to, Danny, because last time we played Sarah's game with our last guest, we went 8 for 8.
Oh, okay.
They did literally perfect.
Never happened before.
Never.
It was bonkers.
We'll see. I spend a lot of time on the Spotify for Artist app looking at the playlist that we've been added to.
Oh, sure.
And they're all terrible names. So I think I have, maybe I can like, oh my God, some of them are,
Wait, what are they? Will you give a couple?
one of them was like songs to manipulate your boyfriend to. One was like songs to listen to when you're killing the president.
Oh my God, perfect.
Yeah.
The soundtrack of labor organizing, which like
That's a good
pretty
one
cool.
to be on.
That was my favorite one. Songs for committing arson with your titties out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We get a lot of streams from that one every month.
I like that.
Dancing in the kitchen with the one you love.
Aww.
Softy soy milk indie girl playlist.
That's very good.
I'm happy that none of those are the same
No,
as
no.
the ones I have on
Okay.
this list. I got nervous for a second.
You didn't create a list called Doing Arson with Your Titties Out?
I did have the idea.
That's a good playlist.
That's a good-
There's so
These
much good
beats
songs.
had me
We're going to
thinking.
share it. We'll share that one.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready to guess?
Yes.
You're just going to tell me if it's real or fake.
Okay.
Playlist number 1 is called Workout, Twerk Out.
That's real.
That's real.
You're correct. That is a real playlist.
I know because I listened to that one.
Oh, damn it. Okay, you've got 1 point. Thing number 2 is called Bottomless Mimosas.
Do we get bonus points if we guess what songs are on it if it's real?
Sure.
Made up.
You would be correct. I made that one up.
2 for 2.
2 for 2. You really are thinking to these beats. Number 3 is just called Denim.
Denim does have a sound.
It's
you know what
got-
I mean? Like a denim jacket. You know what that sounds like.
We've been putting together a double denim show.
Oh,
for the
nice.
past, so you better be on the playlist. But
Do you want to say playlist?
yeah, I think playlist.
Okay.
I made that one up.
Dang.
All right, you are 2 for 3. Number 4 is called Chillin' with a apostrophe. Jesus Christ. On a dirt road.
I think it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Do you want to go for any songs that might be on this playlist?
Chilling on a dirt road.
I will
feel
say
like-
this is a real playlist.
It's hard to think about other music when these beats are just so good.
I feel
All I
like
can think about is
Who
the
Let
beat.
the Dogs Out is on that playlist. I don't know.
So you're going in a different direction. We've got some Jake Owen. We've got some Miranda Lambert, Casey Musgraves. So this is like a
little chill country vibe.
Chill country.
I was thinking like on a safari on like a dirt road,
yeah.
and like what's the Wild Thornberries? The main song was "Who Let the Dogs Out."
It could have been like some like world
Some,
music,
like, yeah.
some goat.
Yeah. This one, it's important that I say it's all lowercase. It's called Gloomcore. All one word. Gloomcore.
I feel like it should be uppercase.
I feel like it has to be real because you specified it was lowercase, or you just really thought out the fake playlist.
She do be thinking out.
I really think out
She
the games
really-
I play.
yeah.
I play mind games.
That's why we
with
were
every
so
guest.
impressed when we got 8 for 8 because she makes them so hard. I feel like it's real. I
feel like it's
I would
real.
listen to Gloomcore.
This one is real. Do you want to guess any songs on this one?
I bet Law Dispute is on there.
I feel like it's
Maybe
gonna
some
be
Defeater.
like sad indie girl music.
There is The Smiths.
Oh, that's
That checks out.
Bon Iver.
oh.
Next up is called Beer Ampersand. So beer and wings.
That's too good to be real. Unless you work at Spot, like they should hire you because I feel like this name's not real, but it should be.
It gets giving me the same vibe as the other one, I guess, right, for Sarah. Or it's just like too Sarah-y. I'm going to say Sarah.
You think I made it up?
Yeah.
I should work at Spotify. No, I shouldn't. That one's real. That one's real. That one is a real playlist featuring the Black Keys, Red Hot Chili Peppers, AC/DC, White Stripes, Foo Fighters. The description for this one says, cold beer, hot wings, great rock. This is your game day soundtrack. So,
That's so.
do with that what you
I
will.
don't know how I feel about that one. I'm gonna write that one a bad review.
Okay, great. Next one is called Pretty Girl Rock.
That feels
That
real.
feels like a Spotify name. We
Yeah.
don't have like snail mail on it.
Oh, yeah.
But the way
Like,
you
maybe
said,
like-
oh yeah, makes me feel like it's not real anymore.
maybe like Lana Del Rey.
It's Lana Del Rey rock.
She did that Sublime cover.
Fair. So do you think it's real?
I think it's real. What do you want to go real or
say
fake?
no. I'm
Let's
gonna
go
say
fake.
fake.
I'm gonna follow Danny's.
Good on you for trusting Danny. That is a fake playlist.
Okay.
It's the oh yeah, gave it away.
I gotta be more careful in my delivery. Nah, I just named that one for the what's the song? My name is Carrie. I'm so very. There's a song called Pretty Girl Rock. Last playlist potentially is called Lactic Acid Run.
I used to want to start a band called Galactic Lactic Acid.
And would that band be on this playlist?
Maybe.
Is this a hyperpop playlist?
Lactic Acid
Lactic
Run?
Acid Run.
Oh, acid.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's like upbeat, trippy music.
Oh, like rave at the
Yeah,
drop
like-
acid and
yeah,
go on a
like it's
treadmill.
like Flying Lotus and like.
I was thinking like
I hope it's real
Pacific
now.
808 or
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's gotta be real.
Is it real?
It is real.
what's
Let
on
me
it?
play a little bit of what is on this playlist because I'm not familiar with any of these bands, but it seems like it could be what you're describing.
I want to run to this.
Yeah.
Indian Acid.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Probably not a good pairing.
This is the song Tell You by K Motions with a Z. Oh, that rules. Okay, thank you for playing. I think you only got 3 wrong out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means you win.
Okay.
We win.
That's a C minus.
And
We
that
pass.
means you both get a spot on the playlist in my heart.
Aw.
Thank you so much for playing. Should we get into the album?
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm already feeling this beer a little bit.
It's 11%. I meant to say that earlier.
Oh fuck!
It's a sipper.
Oopies! I'm halfway done with mine.
It's so good.
We should
though.
also mention we're recording this at like noon.
Yeah, we almost did a rum drink and we were like, maybe
That
not.
could backfire. I didn't realize, Danny, that you like have a show you're going to after this.
Oh yeah, no. Well, it's not till 7. We're playing the secret show that people aren't gonna be able to go to because it comes out in like 3 weeks. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're playing I feel like we're gonna show up and everybody's already gonna be blacked out. It's like that kind of show. So
You'll be in good company.
This will be the only beer I have today, probably. At this rate.
Perfecto.
So let's start at the beginning, which is the end.
That was good.
Thanks. I've
That
been
was
working
really
on it. Yeah.
good.
So this sets us up for the album, which I did not realize was a concept album until
Yeah.
listening to this.
It's kind
Which
of like I
puts-
never heard this when I was listening to it like the first time, but people are like calling it a rock opera.
Yeah.
So this is like technically the second rock opera we've covered on this podcast.
I like rock operas. I'm a fan of rock operas.
I guess.
I was never into this album. My older brother had the one before it, 3 Cheers for Vengeance. Revenge?
Sweet Revenge.
Sweet
Street
Revenge.
Revenge.
Yeah, that one is good.
And that was on play all the time. I had it like set up in my Xbox One with like the visualizer, if you know, you know. But I was only familiar with the radio singles off of this one, so this was a really cool deep dive into the concept album-ness of it. And the end kind of introduces us to that a little bit. Danny, do you want to kind of talk about the concept of it a little bit?
Yeah. When I first heard this album, I was a kid, and I thought starting an album with the end was like the craziest thing. I was like, whoa. But it's actually the beginning. I wonder what it means. But it's funny because like this is a rock opera, kind of. But it like came out the same year, like the year right after American Idiot, which was like the most obvious rock opera with like characters and like
Yeah.
a plot and like a story. And this is like so much more. Like this album doesn't really have a plot, and there's not really characters that are consistent. It's just kind of like
The Patient, right?
yeah,
Is
the
just
patient is
kinda-
somebody, but he's only in like a couple of songs.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole album kind of. I think it's about death. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say. And I remember when I first got the album because when my dad bought it. My dad was like, "Are you sure you want this album? It's about death." And I was like, "No, you wanted more," because I'm like, "Whoa, I only listened to like the Black Eyed Peas at that point in my life. Like all I listened to was like Boom Boom
in
Pow
2006 or something.
Yeah.
Andy.
So I'm like, whoa. But yeah, I remember like doing a deep dive. I got obsessed with the album. I'm like, I'm gonna connect a story. And I'm like on forums, like searching what people are saying, like deciphering the album. And like everybody's like, some people are just like most like wild shit ever. Like, actually, my friend knows My Chemical Romance and he told me blah, blah, blah. And you're just like,
shit.
So I don't know what the album's really about because you think it's all about death and then they throw teenagers at the end.
Yeah.
Just for like the hell of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I also kind of like that it's not like a regular rock opera with like a beginning to the end. We feel like that's super, it always kind of feels like a little campy.
Yeah.
Like this, I feel like it's aged really well.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, just a good mood, a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you told us off air that you had actually, in middle school or high school, written your
Oh,
own.
yes. Okay. So, oh my God, this is embarrassing. When I was probably in middle school, if I'm thinking, because I remember I wrote it I would always write it in my phone notes while I was in bed at night. And I imagine it was the house we lived in when I was in middle school. So I just saw the movie Sucker Punch. You ever seen the movie Sucker Punch? It's so good. So it's like this girl who like is like in a mental institution and she like uses music or like she hears music in her head and when she's listening to the music, she's like imagining she's in like some like crazy battle like there's one scene with like dragons. There's another one with like samurai, like ghost samurais. There's Nazi zombies. Like it's just like
just intense stuff.
She just imagines these huge things in her head that are like big battles, and that's like the story is told through there. So I was like, oh, but you know what's even crazier and more depressing than a mental institution? It's like high school. So I wrote this little like movie type thing of like with the soundtrack where it's like this. Somebody's in high school and they have like crazy battles to like Chemical Romance and like with dragons and they like use all the songs from the other albums too.
Nice.
I remember the big final battle at the end of the movie was with the song Destroya
Perfect.
from I forget what it's called, the Killjoy album. What's that one called again? It's got the spider on the cover.
Yeah.
Danger Days.
Danger Days.
So yeah, it was like it wasn't just about this album, but it's so cringy when I think back at it. But
Do you still have it somewhere, like in your notebooks? In a
no,
box somewhere?
it was saved on my iPhone app, and I probably
It's lost.
looked over it at one point, and I was like, "Oh, what loser wrote this?" And erased it. But I know I'm not the only person because my friend, who's also a musician in Chicago, she's like a noise artist. I told her about this, and first thing she said was, "I wrote a My Chemical Romance movie too."
It's a thing.
So I guess
Perfect.
I wonder who else has. And if there are any copies out there, I would love to hear them.
Please shoot us an email or a DM if you have written a My Chemical
please.
Romance.
I would live if Zach
would
and I
like-
can like if you have like a little like one scene My Chemical Romance thing that Zach and I can act out.
Yeah, we will create an audio drama
I
for you.
would literally love nothing more.
One of the scenes in the movie I remember, so the main character was a girl, and she was on the volleyball team.
Hell yeah.
And during a volleyball game, instead of imagining volleyball, she imagined like this giant dragon. And I forget one of the songs was like, I don't know. It was like basically Sucker Punch, the
Yeah.
exact same thing. But yeah, it was. I would think about it in my head, be like, yeah, this would be so cool. I should just work at Hollywood.
Yes.
I will be the director that makes this.
How do you guys feel about the end of this first track?
Well, Danny, like you said, I think calling the opener the end is just such a like wink. I think I have some like general notes about the album that I want to say very quickly. I love it, first of all.
Yes.
I think that My Chemical Romance at the time like was really just not pulling any punches with this one. Like they were pulling in so many different like styles and a lot of like really heavy themes and making something like so entertaining with it. Like this opener is almost like a sea shanty, but it's talking about like death, like very in some like songs just very plainly and explicitly. And sort of the general like you said, Danny, like there's not like a storyline. It's more so like the songs are just like little like scenes, like little sort of situations versus like this happens and then this happens and then this happens. But the end almost feels like the soliloquy at the beginning of like Romeo and Juliet, where someone's like, come one, come all to this tragic affair. The tragic affair being like our patient that we mentioned earlier, who like kind of a general theme on the album is like this patient has a terminal illness and like is gonna die.
Cancer.
Yeah. And some people say cancer is metaphorical. In a lot of ways on the album, it's very, very literally written. I think it's awesome. It's so cool. And it also starts with like an EKG, like heartbeat too. Like there's a lot of hospital themes.
Yeah. I couldn't catch that heartbeat.
Yeah. My mom's a nurse. So when I was a kid, she was an emergency, like an ER nurse.
Oof.
So I didn't like spend a lot of time in hospitals because I was like constantly sick or injured. I just like went because I was like dropping off fundraiser pizzas or like going to hang out with my mom. So I heard that and I was like, oh, hey.
I have a very fun fact.
Yes, please.
I'm at the end of my beer. Not regrettably. Maybe we'll see. If I start another.
What do you have to do today?
This.
Oh, perfect.
There are pretzel bits at the bottom of it.
Oh, that's so amazing.
You're kidding.
No, there are.
Oh my God.
I haven't tasted one yet. I'm scared to. But I'm like, what is at the bottom of my beer? It's little chunks of pretzel. Right quick, I've got a fun thing. Will you play Pink Floyd's In the Flesh, just the beginning?
I would love nothing more. Is that Off of the Wall?
Yes. And in an interview, Gerard Way says the end feels a bit like the beginning of this song, In the Flesh.
They're the same chord progression, I think.
Are they?
Yeah, it's like the doo-wop progression. It's like bum 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 bum.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure because I know how to play all this whole album on guitar.
That's fantastic.
But one of my first bands we covered In the Flesh.
Remind me the doo-wop progression.
It's a 1 6 4 5. So it's like in the key of C. I don't know, it's C A F G. But yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, if they really leaned into the influence from it. Let's listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet.
The Wall is also kind of a rock opera, right?
I don't actually know. I'm a bad Pink Floyd fan.
I feel like I was like trying to hella research for this album and I kept seeing The Wall pop up. So let's hear a little bit of In the Flesh.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Oh my God.
I love having musicians on the podcast. To those who could not see, Danny was doing the chord progression while it was happening.
You're so
1
smart.
6 4 5.
And they both have sort of that waltzy, like 1 2 3
Yeah.
4 5 6 1 2 3.
Okay, so I could see the lines drawn by those who were drawn.
Okay, so the end ends, and we get like an EKG flatline, which is so perfect. We get a flat line into dead, and like when
Makes
you
sense.
see the heart monitor, you'll get it. You'll fucking get it. You're so smart. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's good shit.
So fucking fun.
I have a fun fact for this one too. It's not about the beer.
Go for it.
So, do you guys remember 80s music when you were a kid?
What
Not
kind? Like hair metal or like New Order?
Like hair metal or like just like popular 80s music. You'd hear it with like the synth.
My mom was really into Prince.
Or like the one with like the jukebox. Don't you forget about me. And it felt so old.
Sure, yeah.
That's how we are the same distance from 80s music when we were a kid now to this music to now. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We're old.
Oh no.
This is 80s music to 12-year-olds.
I guess if we're gonna like reflect on our own mortality, like this is the album to
Yeah.
do it with.
You know, I was listening to the radio. I never listened to the radio, but I was like, I was driving to a gig in Wisconsin, and my phone was dead. So I'm just like listening to the local radio on the way because I couldn't get Spotify on my phone. And I was listening to like oldies and today, the chilled like the music of our youth, and it was like a total dad station.
Oh man.
And they were playing Green Day, Red Hot Chili Peppers, which I don't listen to either of those bands, but they did play My Chemical Romance song. They played the one that's like they played I'm Not Okay.
Oh my
It came
god.
on. I'm like,
We're working on a dad rock themed live show, and I was looking at user made Spotify playlists for dad rock, and they're just like 90s and 2000s music, and I'm like, that's how old dads are right now. those are the songs I like.
This episode is coming up the day after our live show.
Oh hell
on
yeah!
the
So
19th.
it'll make sense. Okay, cool.
If you went, how was it?
How was it?
Did you have fun?
Let us know in the comments below.
We haven't done it yet. I hope it's good. I bet it was good.
But I was invoking the 80s because this guitar solo is a little
Oh, yeah.
80s hair.
so over the top.
Yeah,
Just like,
I think a really strong part of this entire album, and one of the reasons it's so, like, it's not like, I mean, there are parts of this album that are really fun to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say this is like a fun album, but it is a
Sure.
really entertaining one. Like, it's so entertaining to listen to. And I think a lot of that can not only be credited to like this big, like, boisterous, like, 80s guitar music, and then also like a Queen-esque guitar solo
that's
and
a
all
great
this
way to
shit.
put it, yeah.
But also, like, I think Gerard Way's really theatrical vocal delivery is so good on so many of these songs. And in this song specifically, we're like sort of finding out what the fuck is up with the patient. And there's a bridge where
oh yeah,
Oh.
they're
Another part
sort
you're
of
talking
like
about.
singing as the doctor and
Yeah.
saying what's up.
And my honest observation during this operation found a complication in your heart so loud. 'Cause now you got
The brass solos too is so
maybe
nice.
just 2 weeks to
And it's so like fun and like campy. I would say this album is campy.
Oh, it's so campy.
You can say campy.
With so much love, I would say it's so campy. But he's literally singing like, and he's saying like, we found a complication in your heart and you have 2 weeks to live.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking way to
It
deliver
sounds
that
like
is.
a stompy, cheering, like I'm running my hands back and forth side to side. Like,
Yeah, Zach's doing a little dancey dance. It like sounds like a musical, and it's like, hey man, you're gonna die of cancer in a
2
couple weeks.
God.
Jeez Louise. And then we go into the guitar solo. I just had to hear that little bit.
I miss guitar solos.
How do you feel about the guitar solo?
I love them,
Yeah.
but I feel like they're not cool to do anymore.
I think that one was like so perfect.
That
Like,
was a
eight
great
bars,
guitar.
right?
It was so
and,
short
and
and
it's
sweet.
everything you wanted.
And it was like giving classic rock, like
Oh, yeah.
I try to go to shows to see local bands all the time, and I love all my friends, all the bands I've seen, but nobody does guitar solos anymore. Yeah. Like Pink Squeeze did a guitar solo last time I saw them.
Slay.
But other than them, I can't think of anybody that guitar solos.
Wow.
They do like heavy chord breakdowns for like
Sure.
strumming, but like I'm thinking of like cheesy guitar solo, and like I don't know, are they not cool anymore?
Bring them back.
CalicoLoco
back.
has guitar solos in every other song.
That's fantastic.
I love
You should.
I don't care how campy they are, but
Yeah.
How do you write your guitar solos? Do you think like a melody is important, or is it more virtuosity? What's
I don't really write most of the guitar solos.
Okay.
So we have two other guitar players,
Okay.
Zeke and Karin, and they're more guitar players than me. I just strum.
It's hard to do crazy stuff when you're singing too, right?
Yeah, it's way too hard. I don't know. I guess I wish they were here, but I'll just when I write a song, I'll just leave a section open,
Sure.
and I'll say, hey, one of you guys do a guitar solo, and they both have super different styles. Like Zeke's very like his guitar solos are very like riff based. They're really repetitive and they're really groovy. And then Curran is probably much more like 80s kind of like. I mean, he like when me and Curran were in a band together. We were in high school.
Nice.
We covered In the Flesh together.
That's awesome.
And like he loves shredding like on those like 80s style riffs. So you can probably tell when you're listening to a song which one is who. Yeah, I wrote one guitar solo on Minty Newports, which I wrote that song so long ago. I hate it right now.
Oh, no.
But when we recorded it, we all did our own solos, and my solo was not good enough to make the cut.
Oh, no.
So I don't have guitar solos anymore.
But you do like them. That's
I do
all
like
that counts.
We'll say explicitly this podcast is pro guitar solo. We love
If you have a
them.
guitar solo, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about bass solos?
About bass solos?
Oh, I love them.
I love a solo. I want a tambourine solo. I want a triangle solo. I want a piccolo solo. I want all the solos. I want everyone to have their little moment.
I love Blue Monday starts with a kick drum solo.
Oh,
Perfect.
kick drum solo.
kick
Get us
Yeah.
going.
One drum.
Uh-huh.
We're playing that tonight at the Secret Show.
Nice.
Ooh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't want anyone to disappear. I don't want to know how any of these people disappear. I want them to come to the front and have a solo. This
That's
was me
the next
trying
song.
to segue
Oh,
into the next song.
I ruined it.
Fair.
So I told the story over the drink break, but I gotta say it again. So I had the clean version. The reason I paid for it is I used to torrent all my CDs from the library. I would just go to the library, check out a CD, upload it to my
I did that till like 2015.
Yeah, I still do it sometimes. But they didn't have the clean version, and I felt bad, being a good little Christian boy. So I bought the clean version, but because the lyrics were all different, at the end of Dead, he says, "You motherfucker," really loud. And then the recording just says, "Your mother."
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was talking about his mom.
It's a stark difference, right?
Yeah, it's huge
Yeah.
difference. So I'm on Omegle, debating.
As one does in
I'm like-
2007.
debating with some I typed in My Chemical Romance as my interest, and I'm debating with this fan, and we're talking about this song, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think it's really powerful when he calls out to his mom at the end, and the guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That is not in the song. And I'm like, what? I'm 12 years old. I Google the lyrics. I'm like, oh shit, and I learned a new word that day.
Did you also, when you were a kid and you heard people swear, did you also think they were breaking the law?
That's okay. So you know how I said, I don't know if you were on the podcast yet, or we were just talking before, but you know how I said Teenagers is my favorite song of the
Yeah.
album? So maybe it's just religious trauma, because
we know.
Some of us were in deep.
Oh, yeah.
They don't bleep the word shit on the clean version. So Teenagers was not actually clean. And every time I would listen to it, I would feel like such a baddie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're swearing in this song. It would make me be like, ugh. I mean, that also the song is super annoying. The only song I skip on this album. But yeah.
That's so
Do you
funny.
remember that song that would play on the radio that was come on, we talked about this, I think, last episode. Kissing my lips, strength and desire. This
Did not
one
tell
here
you that
hits just to
musician's
pull
name.
me down hard.
It's a good song,
so
though.
that song would play on the radio, and my mom wasn't very strict growing up, but she definitely would frame the words stupid and hate as damn near swear words. She was like, you cannot say you hate something. You should not call something stupid. When I was a kid.
Parents are
So part of that song, he goes I just hate how it sounds. And when I was driving to church on Sundays, hearing that song, I would dead ass when I was 7 years old, plug my ears when I knew he was going to say hate because I thought I was doing the wrong thing by hearing
That's a very cute, tender little Sarah story.
tiny little baby Sarah. I would
It's-
plug
it's-
just for the word hate.
It's real. It's, yeah.
It gets you.
When we're jumping ahead, but when we do Welcome to the Black Parade, and he says the beaten and the damned. Every time I would
The
sing that,
Damned.
I would feel such a baddie. Be
Yeah,
I'm
I said
punk as
damn.
fuck. I said damn. I can do whatever I want.
Who wants
And
me?
then I would pray about it. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, God. Please forgive me. Only you can damn people. I shouldn't be saying.
Yeah, we get it. We're with you. We're with you there. Track number 3. This is how I disappear. What do we have to say about this song?
Did you guys read about the Harry Houdini bit?
The
The Harry Houdini bit.
No, I didn't.
Harry
Tell me,
Houdini
please.
is a real magic user.
Yeah.
Actually,
well,
he's not.
You're telling. Wait, Zach. Are you saying magic isn't real?
Magic is not real.
What?
You guys were just talking about how Christian you were.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
That's
But
why
God
Jesus
can
is-
do magic.
God can do a
That's
little
why I was
magic.
afraid of
It's-
magic
well, it's
shows
not
when I
called-
was a kid. Only God can do that.
Only God can pull a rabbit out of of his hat.
So this next song, How I Disappear, this is How I Disappear. There's a little more story element, maybe, you know, with the whole overarching, but it's also inspired by a real life seance that Harry Houdini's wife held after he passed away.
Tell me more.
That's all I have written down.
Oh.
I'm glad I didn't know that when I was 12 years old, because otherwise I would have been too afraid to listen to that song.
Oh, that would have freaked me out.
But there's a real seance that Harry Houdini's wife did, and he drew inspiration from that for this song. And he also said in this interview in 2005 that this is one of his personal favorite songs. Yeah.
Well, this one kind of has a, like, if we're still talking about death, if we're still talking about, like, there's a big theme of terminal illness. One could say that in this, like, the chorus is, without you is how I disappear. The patient, our sort of protagonist, quote unquote, is saying, like, without you, without, like, this person that they love, without this family member, without whoever, they're going to be completely forgotten once they die.
Yeah, no.
Without you is how I disappear. Without your memory of me, my existence is just kind of like thrown in the shitter once I kick it. It's an ouch. It's an ouchie.
Yeah.
I like this song,
It's a good
but
one.
it wasn't, you know, it's good. I like it. I always listen to this song, but when I first started listening to music, I was not a very patient kid.
Mm-hmm.
And like if the song didn't hook me in right, like in the first like 10 seconds, I'd be like, I don't like this song. So this song, I don't know, but the chorus is so catchy. I love the song, and I still know all the words.
Yeah.
But I probably couldn't talk about it for an hour
Totally.
like I could with Dead. But yeah, I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of feel the same way with Sharpest Life. Like, it's a good tune. There's more character development, right? This person living a sharp life, an edgy life, a life on the edge.
Yeah,
How
this
does this
one,
one
like,
start again? I forget.
oh, let me play it. Let me play
intro.
it.
Oh yeah. Na, 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 na. Yeah, I know
It's
this
kind
one.
of giving like, no, never mind. I was gonna sort of say like,
Take your time, everything will be alright.
Shout out to the season 2 premiere of Album Reviews. Shout out to Cameron Bob. Yeah, we covered Jimmy Eat World. But this song would be like, if we were like watching a movie where like someone like gets their moxie back, this is like the bad boy montage.
Slow motion.
In slow motion, where they like go to the mall and they like set the zoomies on fire and they walk away without even looking at it.
It really is just a nice build up to the next song, which we all want to talk about.
The vocal performance on that song is so good though.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
gets so high, and oh god, I can't even sing that song. Is that the
Yeah.
one he's like, give me a shot to remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one also, this one has some tough ass lyrics, just like fucking hard. You're the one that I need. I'm the one that you loathe. The sun is ashamed to rise and be in love with all these vampires.
Oh yeah.
Those go
Rise
hard
it.
as fuck, dude. Are you kidding me? So like this person, like if we're alluding to like the patient again, like they're like, okay, I'm gonna die in 2 weeks. I'm gonna go on a fucking bender, and everyone I know hates me because I'm a shitty person. But fuck it, fuck it. And then we go into the song.
Which is, I'll let you guys all gush too. I'll start the gushing.
Yeah.
This hit different after I realized what the whole album's about. Did it hit
Yeah.
different for you guys? This is potentially the patient reliving childhood memories right before they die. When
Yeah.
they're remembering being a young boy at a parade with their father.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
I was reading about this one, and apparently Gerard Way has this belief that like when you're fucking like right about to kick the bucket, right when you're about to die, you like relive one of your favorite memories.
Yeah.
So this was sort of like this person is slipping right into death and having this like flashback of their father taking them to a parade when they were a young boy. All 5 minutes and 11 seconds of this song is a fucking ride.
Yeah. It's so good.
This is the song, is the reason. I'm a piano teacher.
Yeah.
Outside of this is the reason whenever my students at like the third highest C on the piano, my brain's like, wait, what? What's going on? I'm transported to being 12 years old again. Like listening to this on my iPod.
Like a sleeper agent. You're like,
You could hear those first 3 intervals and you're instantly in it.
And like if we're talking about like theatrics too, like this is a song with acts. This is like almost like symphonic in the way that the song is structured.
Did you ever hear the story of how they wrote the whole structure of the song?
No.
I don't know the whole story, and I'm not going to cite my sources, so don't fact check me. But like the rest of the song after that opening, like they had written, or most of it was written, like the carry on, like that part, and they were sitting on it for like ever, and I think they like didn't know what to do with it because it was like wasn't like this song is great, but like that middle part right when it gets loud, it's good, but it's not like the best My Chemical Romance song,
Right.
So they didn't know what to do with it. And then until one day, somebody in the band wrote that little piano melody, and they made that be the intro for the song. And that like changed the entire song. But then when they did that, they were like, "Oh shit! None of our songs are as good as this song." So they they redid like half the album.
Oh, shit.
Just because they were like, "Oh, now this song is
to
on
catch
there."
up for this one.
Yeah. And like I wonder how much they changed because like the outro of this song is the same as the intro, but like instrumentally it's different.
Yeah.
So like I wonder like because when they talk about it, they're like, "Yeah, this song sucked," until we rewrote it. So like, oh god, but yeah, it's such a good song.
It's insane. It's insane. What other fucking notes?
This
do I
is the
have?
song that got my dad to like only song he would listen to that wasn't reggaeton. Was
Yeah.
this one song.
Your dad has good taste.
Yes.
I like that the line in here in the chorus is "Your memory will carry on," which is in contrast to him being worried about being forgotten.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Like, right? It's a
Yeah.
little more joyous, which is represented in the music, right?
Yeah, this one kind of like gets the morale back up.
Yeah.
We've got the like ba, 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 ba. Like it really like gets your morale back up.
Yeah, the snare drum like is a marching band snare drum, like a
Can we play? I'm gonna play the like do or die part. I
Cool.
feel like
Do it.
that's a really good.
Oh, I play that note.
You just do that like 6 more times.
I'm at my like text tone. Whenever I get a text, it's like boom. Just one note. It's all you need.
That'll be good for perfect pitch, right? You said it's the third C.
Yeah.
Because the world will never take my heart, no one try. You'll never break me. We want it all. We want to break this, but I won't explain or say I'm sorry. I'm unashamed. I'm gonna show my scar. Give a cheer for all the broken. Listen here, because it's who we are. Just a man. I'm not a hero. Just a boy who had to sing this song.
Very previously we talked about Bo Burnham's Pandering song.
Yeah, sure.
And in that song where he goes, "Y'all motherfuckers ready for a key change?" I think about that every time something like that happens in music.
Yeah, we're just
I also think during
drives that
that
home.
part, if I was like an emo teen in 2006, which like in 2006, I was 8 years old and in a lot of dance classes. Like I
a
was
little
not,
far from emo.
I was a little removed. I didn't get there until a little bit later. But god damn, I understand why this was an anthem for so many people, because if that doesn't like get you ready to rally,
yeah.
It's so
like,
campy, but they
it's
like they
so
wear it so
good.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great way to phrase it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you literally like you're like all marching together like as this little emo group.
Oh, it just sounds like eyeliner.
Yes.
Yeah, I would listen to this song and I would just like I wanted to be emo so bad when I was a kid. I was like, oh, someday I'll be emo.
Which is emo is a phrase the band doesn't actually completely agree with. Did you guys read that? What? Yeah.
Tell me more.
I feel like the definition of emo has changed.
It's
It's
changed.
like when I think of emo when I was like young, like of course I thought this was emo when I was a kid, but when I think of like emo music used to meant like 20 years ago, I think of like Rites of Spring or like American Football, like those
Sure.
like twinkly guitar with on the like twinkly
Yeah, like how it was in the 90s,
Yeah.
right? Before
Yeah.
it became mall emo.
And then all of a sudden, emo now means like My
Fall Out
Chemical
Boy.
Romance, Fall Out Boy,
Yeah.
and like I don't like. I mean, words changed. I don't really care. But like, it's funny that like I don't even when I think of emo music, I don't think of My Chemical Romance. But it's.
What do you call My Chemical Romance? Like pop rock?
I feel like they're
Is
just
this-
like oh God. I don't know. I feel like they're just like really elaborate pop punk.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
but now it's like nowadays that's emo. So I mean, And now they have a separate genre for like American football. It's called Midwestern emo.
Yeah.
Which is cool with me, I guess.
We
Wait.
talked about this before.
I have to quickly shout out
And you
Dave.
can't make Midwestern emo unless you know how cold it is here.
I have to quickly shout out Dave Igliozzi, dear friend of the pod, who I forgot to shout out during the Spotify game.
Oh.
Because Dave sent me, speaking of Midwest emo, Dave sent me a post on Instagram that says, "This is Midwest emo," and it's a Spotify playlist. "Quote unquote," it's a meme, but it just says depression and homosexuality. So shout out to Dave real quick.
Yeah.
I would call My Chem and like Paramore and whatever like early 2000s big air quotes emo.
Well,
Yeah.
I've heard the phrase mall emo, which is where emo stopped being underground and
Like
like
Hot
started
Topic?
being Hot Topic. So
Yeah.
like some of these guys are mall emo.
That's
I
like
think.
the weird thing is like, I don't think this sounds anything like American football or
Not at
Right to
all.
Spring. Like
Yeah.
it's just like its own. I feel like they just heard the whiny voices and were like, "This is emo music."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're
I
like,
don't know.
kids with black nail polish are going to love this one. And that makes it emo.
How do you guys feel about I Don't Love You?
Can we bring back the cry counter?
Cry counter. Cameron, please.
I did this for when we talked about Olivia Rodrigo's Sour. We'll get 1 point on the Made Sarah cry counter because this one was a big fat ouch. And it's like a really heavy theme. Like if you are talking to someone who the relationship is deteriorated, but you find out you're like terminally ill and this person is still kind of like dead set on leaving you.
Oh, man.
Would this person like be able to look into the eyes of this person with cancer and be like, "Sorry, I don't love you," and dip?
That made you cry.
ouch.
That gave you a big cry vibes.
It gave me a big cry. It gave me a big cry.
Yeah. Genius says this is the band's most literal attempt at capturing heartbreak. And
Yeah.
I think they captured it, right?
Yeah, and the lyric when he goes, "Better get out while you can," made me cry. It made me cry because it's like, well, if you're gonna go, like now's the time. Now's the fucking time. They've sort of like resigned themselves to this person leaving them, and that's so sad.
What a hard topic to write about.
This ouchie.
I've definitely cried with this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, I just realized this song also the same chord progression as In the Flesh.
Come on.
And the opening of Welcome to the Black Parade is also the same chord progression as Into the Flesh.
Oh,
So
there's a theme.
that's probably why it's my favorite chord progression now. Because I listened to this album all day long for
Yeah.
like 6 years of my life.
Also, one quick note about vocal delivery. The part of the song where Gerard's at the very, very, very end where he goes, "Would you have the guts to say?" Like, just that sort of, it's more nuanced than I just did it. But there's this like tangible like heartbreak in that vocal delivery. It just really sells it. I don't think that like Gerard Way is the patient necessarily. Like he's just sort of
maybe
like
not. He's the narrator.
telling the
of some
story.
sort.
Yeah. But god damn. His just sort of like commitment to like injecting so much emotion into this whole album vocally is insane. It's insane. It's so good.
Super talented. guy.
I think it's part of like what makes this such a classic.
House of Wolves is about hell. And then the next song is about cancer.
Wait. I have a quick note about House of Wolves. Jesus Christ. Okay. So House of Wolves.
Yes.
Have we said this yet? There's a lot of very like kind of nuanced sort of like cabaret influences on this album, which I'm super, I mean, they literally got Liza Minnelli on a track later. Like if we're talking cabaret.
Who's the last one, Ellie? Or we can get to it.
We'll get to it. Oh, sweetheart. Liza Minnelli, our angel. The intro to House of Wolves reminded me of something.
I know exactly what you're going to play. Are you going to play what I think you're going to play? Do you know what she's going to play,
This was kind of
Daniel?
giving me
No.
like swingy big band.
Oh, I know what you're thinking
and
now.
so I just wanted to
Are you
show
going to
this
play Big Bad
parallel.
Blue Day?
It's the same song.
This is the song Sing, Sing, Sing by Benny Goodman.
Yeah, it's the same song.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? But also to have a fucking like mall emo, sure, we'll call them that, like a mall emo band doing fucking Benny Goodman on a track. That's so fun.
Yeah.
That's
feel
so
like
fun.
Theatrical.
I feel like that's why we still listen to this album. Because
Yeah.
there's so many mall emo bands. I don't want to talk shit on other bands.
No, you
but
can.
Like,
We do that here.
Like I remember, like I used to like love Newfound Glory, and I
Oh,
used
sure.
to love like Fall Out Boy, and I mean, like there's a Simple Plan, like all these bands, and all their singers always sound the same. Like they have
Yeah.
that same voice. Somehow, like we're still listening to this. My Chemical Romance is cool. Finally, like it's cool to
Yeah.
like My Chemical Romance.
18
And,
years
like,
later.
Yeah, but it's like all these other bands that sound like mall emo, like they all sound the same, like singer wise, especially. But they probably because they do weird shit like that, you know. Like, you know,
They put in this jungle groovy beat from
Jungle
the 60s.
Groovy beat, the cabaret,
Yeah, they're literally putting this like
the Liza Minnelli.
Liza Minnelli! Literally like timeless. I don't know if it was like an explicit like, oh, let's do Benny Goodman, but like Zach, I think you knew what I was going to play before I was
Yeah,
even
I
going to
totally
play
knew
it.
that song. Yeah, I couldn't
And
name it, but I was like, yeah, that's
It
the drum
helps
beat.
it hold up.
I don't know any other mall emo bands that would do Benny Goodman.
Yeah.
was my-
or do Benny Goodman justice.
Yes, that was my only.
I
note
don't
for
want to
House
hear
of Wolves.
Asking Alexandra do
No,
Benny Goodman.
Fall Out Boy doing Benny Goodman.
I don't want to hear anything
And
like that.
I have a soft spot for Fall Out Boy.
Oh, sure.
I'm a fully a do girl through and through.
What do you think of Fire? New Fall Out Boy.
I hate anything beyond like
2000.
Save Rock and Roll.
Doesn't even sound like Fall Out Boy.
Save Rock and Roll was the last good Fall Out Boy album, period. And
sounds
even
like-
Save Rock and Roll was pushing
Sounds like
it.
they were like, hey, you know Imagine Dragons? Let's just do that. And everyone
Yeah.
was like, no, don't do that.
That's what it sounds
That's
like.
what they should not done.
Yeah, they did Imagine Dragons.
They did Imagine Dragons, and only Imagine Dragons can do it for that one song. They can't even do it for any other song except that.
Are you saying Radioactive?
It's okay song. It's a good song.
I've
Everything
taught-
else I don't care about.
I've taught lightning enough to enough 5-year-olds. I don't know what is with my Imagine Dragons, but they have capitalized on the 7-year-olds. I don't know, maybe their songs are in Fortnite or some shit. I don't know, but I'll be like, hey, we just learned 5 Beethoven songs. What do you want to learn? They're like, oh, I want to learn lightning.
Yes.
5
And then I play it, and I'm like, is this the same as Radioactive?
What is cancer a metaphor for?
Can we get another point on the cry counter?
This is a Craig Connor song.
Holy shit, this one is so sad. This one is so fucking sad. I don't know what cancer is a metaphor for in this context, but also there's some really literal
Cancer, yeah.
what are the lyrics?
Patient has cancer.
I mean, they're talking about their literal physical form deteriorating because they're subject to chemo, which can be so, physically devastating. Some of the lyrics: my lips are chapped and faded. I'm awful just to see. My hair's abandoned all my body. Baby, I'm just soggy from the chemo. This person feels pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
This person is I'm wasting away. I'm horrible to look at. Don't even fucking waste your time with me.
Did
Ouch!
Did Gerard experience someone with cancer in his life? Is that?
I'm not
Do we
sure.
know?
I didn't see anything super obviously popped out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be applied to a variety of scenarios. I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah.
It says something about the album. It's this song specifically.
Yeah.
That it can be such a sad concept with sad lyrics, but you want to listen to it again. Because I was thinking of Hospice by the Antlers. That album is so sad. I listened to it and I'm like, I don't want to listen to it again. It was really good.
it's
It wasn't
too
bad, but
sad.
it's same with movies that same with Boy in Striped Pajamas. I'll never watch
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah.
Even
they're-
a Marley and Me.
yeah, Marley and
can't do
Me, Requiem
it.
for a Dream. But with this album, it touches on all those things, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the self-awareness or the camp or something
Yeah.
about it. But I mean, I've listened to Cancer over and over and over again on loop.
Yeah.
Whereas I would never do that with Intro by the Antlers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would get depressed. I don't know.
There's something in the delivery that lends itself to another listen.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I think along with like theatricality, there's a lot of like empathy in Gerard Way's vocal delivery.
Yeah.
Like to my knowledge, he has never had a terminal illness like this, but, and Cameron, please cut that if that's not true. But I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
You had something to say about the line, "Call me Aunt Maria." I wasn't for sure what that was about.
Aunt Marie.
Oh no, that's another thing. I'm not sure what it is, but like maybe it's just I feel like everybody who listens to My Chemical, like people who are big My Chemical Romance fans, maybe they have like some shared. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but this song, like the Aunt Marie line, has become a meme.
Oh.
Which is like weird. It's such a tragic song, but it's
Yeah.
like you see it like on like the most stupid little meme soy jack comics. Like you're like, oh, this is such a sad song. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Aunt Marie line is a total meme. Like
You just
I've seen
see it,
a million
people just,
memes about Aunt Marie. And I'm like, yeah, this song is like about dying, you guys. Why?
Why are you
And-
memeing on it? Genius says is more likely an ironic reference to Marie Curie, who pioneered research in radioactivity and died of cancer.
Oh,
Oh,
ripperoonie to that.
Because
icon.
at first read, I thought maybe he has an Aunt Marie who died of cancer, but he may
well,
be
Aunt Marie
referenced-
doesn't die of cancer.
Oh.
The listener dies, and he's like calling Aunt Marie, like, I was like,
Bring her to my bedside.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. The plot thickens.
It's kind of this like take a shot juxtaposition of like I want to say goodbye to my family. No, don't look at me. I'm horrible and pathetic. It's so hard to leave you. Just let me go. Oh, I can't think about it too much because it's really gonna put me in my bag. Should we take a quick pee break and then come back and talk about Liza Minnelli?
Yeah. I love that. Pause.
Balls to you!
Welcome back, folks. Y'all want to talk about Liza Minnelli?
I do.
Oh my god, I would
Especially
love
because I
nothing
don't
more.
know who she is, and all I know about her is balls to you.
Well, that's a great place to start. So we talked about how this album, The Black Parade, has a lot of like sort of campy cabaret show tunesy references. And I did not know until literally this week when, like, as an adult who cares who Liza Minnelli is, I was looking at this and I was like, wait, what the fuck? They got a Liza Minnelli feature? So I didn't know about this as a kid. Liza Minnelli is the daughter of Judy Garland of The Wizard of Oz and
wow.
many other popular movies and musicals fame. And she herself is an EGOT winner. She has an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
That's what that means.
EGOT,
I thought
baby.
there was an award ceremony called the EGOT. I stand for that.
Welcome back to the EGOT Awards. So she's just an icon, very much like a queer ally as well. Singer, dancer, actress, just widely beloved and renowned. And was one of the stars of the movie Cabaret with choreography by Bob Fosse. She's I don't know if either of you are very familiar with Fosse, but it's a very peculiar style of dance, very, very isolated movements. It's kind of jazzy. She's iconic, and I want to play a little bit of a song that kind of reminded me of Mama, the next song we're going to talk about. It's the song Money Money from the the musical movie Cabaret. Take a little listen. This is Liza and Joel Grey singing.
Money.
Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes the world go around, it makes the world go round. A mark, a yen, a buck, or a pound, a mark, a yen, a buck, or a pound is all that makes the world go around. That clinking, clanking sound that makes the world go round.
Okay.
Iconic.
I hear it now.
Yeah.
Iconic. So she doesn't have a very big part on the song, but the song Mama is sort of our protagonist, potentially. Sort of like, I kind of took it as like this person was sent to war and they're like writing a letter to their mom back home being like, war is horrible and I'm going to hell because of what I've done here.
Oof. Yeah. I get that a lot from this one.
Yeah, it's tough. But I'd like to play a little bit just like to have that sort of like auditory parallel here because I think sonically they're very similar.
Mama, we all go to hell. Mama, we all go to hell.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I see the similarities.
Yeah. What did y'all think about this song when you were listening to the album?
I didn't like this song when I was 12. I thought I was like, why is it cabaret? This is not punk. And now I listen to it. I think it's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
I think it's like,
Oh.
I think it's because like, I think it's better than Welcome to the Black Parade because like it evolves so much. It has so many different scenes, and also it's like there's not really a part of it of the song where it's like straight up just punk. Like Black Parade has that part, and when it gets loud, it's just like power chords. But this whole song is like it never strays from that like weird cabaret punk thing.
Yeah,
and it does it without being like it's super campy, but it's never like so campy to the point that you're like, oh my god. No beef to cabaret music.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But when I listen to this, like it doesn't. It's cabaret without being like too much. I don't know.
It's still
if that makes sense.
interesting.
Like I think this is probably my favorite song. Mm-hmm. I also didn't know Liza Minnelli was on it until today when you brought that up because I heard the woman singing. I'm like, I always wonder like, I wonder. It's like maybe some session singer.
Yeah.
But it's Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, literally.
That is badass.
And they recorded it remotely. I don't know if they ever met in person, but apparently like Gerard Way was like, oh, I'd be so sick to get her on this track. And then they got her on the track. And she's like, yeah, man, I'm down. So she's on a My Chemical Romance album. That's incredible. I really want to play just some more like really theatrical delivery and also sort of like this kind of complicated relationship that someone might have with like an overbearing mom where like their kid is literally going off to war, but the mom is like, well, you could have been about a son. And like, I don't know. I just think it's interesting. So I want y'all to listen to the delivery of this.
All full of lies. Well, mother was the one into my legs and to my tongue. You should have raised that baby girl. I should have been a better son. If you could count on the infection, naked, amputated ones, you should have been. I could have been a better son.
Hear that little voice in the background that's like, "You shut up and da."
Yeah, there's some vocal production.
It's giving like Danny Elfman. It's giving Nightmare Before Christmas.
I was about to say, it's very.
But I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So then we get Liza.
And if you would call me your sweetheart, I'd maybe then sing you a song.
But the shit that I've done with this record, you would cry out to rise on.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
I got the chills.
Living
Yeah.
legend. She's still alive, right? Let me make sure she's still
She's alive.
Oh, I figured.
We would have.
Yeah, we wouldn't know.
We would
I
have
would
heard.
know.
No, now she's gonna die tomorrow.
No!
Now,
As long as she doesn't
if-
die before June 20th.
If you're listening to this podcast and
cut
she's
that.
dead before June 20th,
We're not preying on Liza Minnelli's downfall.
You guys want to quickly cover Sleep and get to Teenagers?
Yeah.
Sleep's a good song and a good band. Do you like Sleep?
I do like Sleep. Like the doom metal
They're a
band,
stoner
right?
metal band.
Yeah, stoner metal. I don't know the difference.
Yeah,
But they're cool.
it's about the same.
I remember I was so impressionable as a 12-year-old. I read a review on this album and I was like, oh, it was like one review from like this random dude online. And I'm like, this is the opinion that everybody has.
Yeah.
And they said they didn't like Sleep. So I was like, oh, okay, I don't like Sleep.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't like this guy. Anyway, I listened to Sleep the Way Here, and I was like, oh yeah, this song's really good. I'm such a stupid 12-year-old. The samples in the beginning, I thought a little like the tremor lines in the beginning. It's a
Yeah.
little much for me. I think it's the only time in the album where it gets a little too camp. And I'm like, oh, every time I hear it, I roll my eyes like, oh my god, just get to the song. Let's
Right.
go. But the song is catchy.
Have you heard about like the background of those vocal recordings? Like what those are?
No, but now I'm probably gonna be like, oh, I'm so stupid. I shouldn't have said that.
It's not stupid. It's not stupid. But I found out like what it was. And I don't necessarily think it like super well, I can't speak to what does or doesn't have a place on this album. I didn't make the album. But there are recordings of Gerard Way himself talking about like night terrors he had while recording this album, because apparently they recorded it at the Paramore, but not spelled like the band, spelled like the actual word, Paramour mansion, which apparently is like super haunted. So I'm going to play like a little bit of the recordings.
Eddie terrors. And it's like, it feels like as if somebody was gripping my Eddie's terrors.
So
Spooky.
that
Ooh,
it comes up a
spooky.
bunch on the song, but he's I think just like recounting like night terrors that he's
You know
had.
how every time there's a new Batman movie and they interview like the villain's always like the actor. He's like, yeah, I had nightmares while I was recording this role. I can't believe they did it to this song, to this album.
It's just Jared Leto being like, yeah, I sent dead birds to my co-stars or whatever the fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't he do shit like that?
Probably.
Well, he did worse. He sent used condoms.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Oh,
like,
you're right.
he's a method actor. Oh, he's also got like a weird cult about him. And he has his own band. What's his band called?
30 Seconds to Mars.
Oh, I was about to say Third Eye Blind, which is so wrong.
One of the 30 Second to Mars songs is exactly the same song as Damn It by Blink-182.
I believe that.
Exactly the
That's okay.
same song.
I think Jared Leto is a fuck. And I'm okay with saying that loud and proud.
Yeah.
Jared Leto's a fuck.
Is he an EGOT?
No.
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 No, absolutely not.
Because he's a musician.
He
and,
was the Joker, and he was so damaged they had to tattoo damaged on his forehead.
'Cause
that-
how else would the
how
audience
else would
know?
you know that Joker's crazy? You know, I mean, we can't act it out. How else are they gonna know?
We can't show, we have to tell.
He also had ha 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 ha
Oh, there you
all
go.
over
Yeah.
his arm. So guys let you know that he laughs.
Yeah.
What's the new movie that he's in where he like
It's Morbin time.
where he like kind of plays like a werewolf but not really?
I
I
don't
was a
know.
vampire.
Oh, it's a vampire.
Oh, that checks
And
out.
Jared Leto vampire.
He says it's Morbin time. It's the only part of the movie I remember.
Mighty Morphin Jared Leto.
Get morbed. This meme's not going to be funny in like 20 days, and it's going to come out.
Oh, no.
And people are going to be like, "Oh, did they really just say it's Morbin time?"
That's the thing about our podcast. Evergreen, baby. Evergreen.
We've said more outdated memes. Trust me.
Should we move on to teenagers?
Yes, we should. It's catchy. It's a catchy tune.
It's so catchy.
He wrote it about actually being afraid of teenagers.
Me too, girl.
Dude, me too. Teenagers, especially nowadays.
I'm spooked.
I was afraid of teenagers when I was a teenager.
When I was
Yeah. I've been
I'd see them at
afraid
the
of
mall, and I
teenagers
would
for like 10
run
years.
into the
Teenagers are scary when you're a preteen.
Uh-huh.
When you're a teen.
Uh-huh.
When you're an adult.
Yeah.
When you're an older adult. They're
Yeah.
scary all the time. It's a relatable song.
And urban teens are like no other.
Oh man.
Have you ever gone to a Abercrombie and Fitch?
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
I can't breathe.
Even as
Like-
a teen, I'm like, I would convince my mom to go into Abercrombie all the time because I was like a varsity athlete in high school. So like my teammates were wearing it. I was like, yeah, let me go to the store because my teammates are walking around like holding bags with shirtless men on them. I want to go to there. And so I would convince my mom to take me there. And every time she'd be so pissed leaving the store, she'd be like, I can't breathe. And someone farted in the dressing room.
I always wanted to go to Abercrombie and Fitch, and I finally got my mom to take me one time, and she bullied me while I was there. She's like looking at me like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And like, I left because I was like, "Okay, mom, let's just go. I don't want to be here anymore. You're making me feel bad." So we went to Aeropostale. Yes! But that made me walking out, and I'd be like sad. I'd be like, "My mom doesn't get it." And now I look back at it. I was talking to her the other day, and I was like, "Mom, thank you so much for not letting me wear Abercrombie."
Did you watch the documentary that came out about Abercrombie?
Yes.
It was
No.
insane. I think it's called White Hot. And it's on Netflix, and it's about like sort of how the senior executives and founding sort of members of Abercrombie corporate were
so
like
bad.
strictly hiring people based on looks, based on whiteness explicitly. Like they would only have
Yikes.
people of color like working the back room, stocking night shifts. or like not have them on the floor when like senior executives were going to visit stores.
Super fun.
And they would hire like literal teenagers to the role was called model, but it was like
Yeah.
a store associate. And they would just hire like white hot models, quote unquote, to like 17-year-olds fucking standing in front of the store being like, "Hey baby." Insane.
Wild.
And then they met their downfall.
Capitalism sucks.
Oh, capitalism sucks. But then, like, I don't remember if it was, like, one of the founders or the CEO. I forget what his title was. But he sort of said, like, explicitly, like, Abercrombie is not a brand for everybody. We only want, like, thin, hot, rich, white people wearing our clothes. And then people got wind of that and were like, okay, I mean, we, like, kind of knew that was the case. But also, fuck you for saying it out loud.
Jesus Christ.
And also like years, because he said that in like 2012.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like I remember like it being on the news like 3 years ago. That's probably longer than that. But like it was like he said this like years ago. Yeah, that's why the cool kids would shop at Hot Topic.
Yeah, that is arguably the best mall store.
Oh, yeah.
That and Spencer's.
Shout out to my Hot Topic girls. Shout out to my PacSun girls. My Aeropostale girls. We see you.
I never shopped at Hot Topic. I'm a poser.
I only
remember-
shopped there for like a couple of band t-shirts.
I remember buying band t-shirts and then like people would be like, "Did you see that band live?" I'd be like, "No, I got it at Hot Topic." And they would make fun of me for it.
I did? Oh, this is
So
very...
it was like a thing, right? Do you guys remember that? Being like, "Oh, like you didn't even see that band live. You just bought it at Hot Topic."
I bought a Fault in Our Stars t-shirt from Hot Topic and then wore it to go see the movie in theaters. But it said like, it was the two little clouds and it said, okay. And I'm going to see if someone can send me the photo. I bought that at Hot Topic. I was like a soft Hot Topic girl. One of the notes that I had about this song that I thought was kind of funny, and I've been thinking about this a little bit, because like, I'm one of the youngest people in the office that I work in. And like, people in the office often talk about like Gen Z, and they're like, ugh, those Gen Z kids, they don't know their left shoe from their right shoe or whatever the hell. And it's just, I think this song is funny because it's sort of a pattern societally that like every older generation always thinks that the youngest generation is a fuck.
Yeah.
Since literally forever. Like in the 70s, the old peeps were like, oh, these hippies, they're gonna smoke the devil's lettuce and...
Now those are baby boomers, and they're like,
now
these
they're boomers.
millennials don't work. And I'm like, you are hippies.
And now the millennials are like, ugh, these Gen Z babies, they don't know anything about anything. And it's like every older generation feels that way about the youngest generation. And the generation is just going to grow up and be people. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to dunk on younger generations because they're younger than you and they don't know shit yet.
think
I
it's just-
love Gen Z so much.
I do too.
Yeah.
I remember in high school, we all had to do like a report on like for history class or something. And I wrote about Karl Marx, about how based he was. I can't believe I just said based. I'm talking to I'm a piano teacher. I
Come
work
on,
with
Gen
kids
Z.
too much.
Yeah.
And like I remember that being like controversial. Like, you know, I can't be a communist in school. And now I I have so many 17-year-old, 16-year-old people who follow my band, and I look at their profile. I'm like, oh, who followed me? I look at their profile, and they're all like radical leftists. I'm like, man, what's going on with these kids? They're all so much cooler than
Yeah,
like
they're standing up for all sorts of rights and walking out of schools and doing good
what,
things.
What,
And
what are
Yeah.
we doing?
That's
Yeah.
the thing, is like the radical thing that millennials did was like got ping pong tables into office buildings. And like Gen Z is like, I will literally step on your neck if you come for a trans person. I
Yeah.
swear to fucking God.
I saw a meme and it was like Gen Z will literally have no problem slashing the tires on a cop car.
Easy.
But they will be too afraid to ask the waitress to bring more ketchup.
And that's why I love them.
they're like
Like,
respectful
I don't
of
want
the
to
working
bother
class.
the waitress. Like, I guess I know ketchup.
Gen Z's base as hell, dude.
They do say the word pogs though. I don't get that.
I don't know
Yeah.
what a
They'll be
pog
like,
is.
that's poggers. I think it's good.
Is it? How do you spell it? Is it PAWG?
I think it's like some Twitch thing. It's
POG.
POG. I think it's short for PogChamp, which is like a Twitch thing. from the FGC, which
I heard-
is like, okay, maybe I'm talking too much. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
the
I don't know.
origins of Pog as I know it.
It's from the fighting games on Twitch.
I've heard that
okay.
POG stands for play of game. So it's like the best thing you did during that game.
I don't
Okay.
think
So that's what I've heard.
I don't
so
know.
like if you like fucking take down a boss in like a sick ass boss battle, people are like Pog. That's fucking
I'm gonna
Pog.
Google it. Oh, you're
So
right.
they're not-
Oh,
they're not
it
here
is play of the
judging
game,
us.
but it's also from Twitch and short to PogChamp. So we're both right.
We're both
okay,
right.
okay.
We're
I
both
was the only wrong
gamers.
one.
We're both gamers. I used to play competitive Smash Bros. And I would go to tournaments, so I know.
I love that. How do you guys feel about these last 3 tracks coming out? Well, 2 and a bonus track, which we'll talk about bonus tracks when we get there. But how do you guys feel about the last 2 tracks?
Disenchanted gets another point on the cry counter. This one made me, I wouldn't say like a full blown sob. Like I didn't have to call my therapist about it, but a little weepy. A little weepy.
Yeah.
The line that kind of got to me was I hate the ending myself, but it started with an all right scene. I don't know. That for whatever reason, like reflecting back on your life and being like, fuck, it really sucks that I got a terminal illness and wasted away in a hospital bed. But my childhood was pretty good. I don't know. That was my interpretation of it.
Had a pretty good tutorial, but the main game was like short and bad.
Yeah.
I like the acoustic opening.
Yeah.
That's
should
one
we
thing.
play
Like,
it?
there's one thing I really like about this album, opposed to a lot of like, I know the word Molgoth is like not a good word to call this music, but like all the songs on this album sound so distinct from each other, and that's one of the hardest things about like emo punk music. All the songs are like have the whiny voice, have the power pop chords, but like this song especially, you just start with the acoustic guitar, and you're like, I can immediately know where I am in the album just from the first parts of each song.
Yeah.
I listen to like, I love Newfound Glory when I was like in middle school, but like I listen to a song, I'm like, I just put it on shuffle, and I don't know which album I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this song.
Well, I was there on the day they sold the cars for the Queen, and when the lights all went out, we watched our lives on the screen. I hate the ending myself, but it started with an alright scene.
Yeah. This is such a good second to last song.
It winds you down.
Yeah.
It's like brings you back down. It like I don't know. I think there's a word for second to last.
Penultimate.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
Come on,
This is
vocab.
the best penultimate song.
That's a 25-cent word.
Yeah.
Did either of your like English teachers assign currency value to words?
No.
Like if you were saying like, that was a yummy burger, she'd be like,
10 cents.
that's like
You
a
pay
penny.
me.
Yeah, you pay me for that one. But if you're like, that was a decadent burger, she's like, okay, that's 10 cents. That's pretty good.
Okay.
I hate when people use words like that though.
What's a fancy word? So he said the fancy word for second to last. What's this fancy word for last?
Last.
Last. That's the fanciest word we can think of.
Lost.
Conclusion?
The caboose.
Caboose. The caboose of the song.
Did anybody else's English teacher have like class jobs? And one of the
Yes.
class jobs was being the caboose, which means you were always last in line, and your job was to make sure everybody got there.
Oh, dang. You guys were getting put to work in middle school.
I think that honestly was like, I'm not saying it like caused my anxiety disorder, but it like helped sow a seed because I was in the back holding the fucking fork down.
Like, guys,
the
get in the line.
caboose.
I was like, excuse me, step to the left. Step to the left, please. Don't stop for water. Don't go to the bubbler, please. Let's come on. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
So does this caboose of a song, famous last words, does it conclude the album well? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the song?
Is it really the caboose though? Because
There's a bonus track.
there's
it's not even like
Which
a bonus.
I'm-
It's called a
I'm-
hidden
I
track.
missed the hidden track.
It's the caboose who's not doing their job.
The hidden track
Yeah.
didn't exist or did exist before streaming. Now it's not hidden because you can just see
'Cause
the
it's
track.
just there.
But when you bought a CD, you
I
had this
remember.
on
I
CD.
remember listening for 10 minutes in silence, like, oh,
Is there a bonus
we're
track?
almost there.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
It's only like a minute 30, but it feels like a long time. I forgot about bonus
Yeah.
tracks till I listened to this album.
Yeah, this one's the caboose. Wink.
Wink.
I love Famous Last Words.
I love this
It's
song.
like, honestly, this album is like, the first 2 songs are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Then Black Parade is so good. And then like, I think Hey Mama, not Hey Mama, that's an Outkast song.
Hey, mama.
No, Hey Mama's wait, no, hey, they do Hey Yeah. Okay, cut this out.
Shake it.
Anyway.
it.
But yeah, like this like the second half of this album is really good, but like I feel like it's pretty front loaded. But then
I
this
think
song
so.
comes in at the end, and you're like, oh shit, this song is so good.
This one's a fucking anthem.
Yeah.
And it's got kind of, I don't know if either of you looked into like the lore of this song.
No.
Question
Tell us
mark?
about it.
So, historically, there's brothers in this band. So Gerard Way's brother, Mikey Way, is the
a good name.
bassist for My Chemical Romance. And after 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, after a lot of touring pressure, a lot of Mikey, who struggles with anxiety and depression, was like having a real tough time, had to bow out of the band for a little
wow.
bit. And so this song, Famous Last Words, was written by Gerard for Mikey as a way to kind of like
that's nice.
shepherd him back in and be like, hey, I wrote this song for you. If you like it, come on back in and play it with me. Which I love sibling
Honey, if
relationships.
You stay, you'll be forgiven.
Mikey is, I love Mike when Mikey sings because he's always the one singing like the really high, like just long notes. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I don't know. Something about listening to this. Do they have more than one sibling? I think they're the only 2 brothers.
I think so.
But I don't know for sure. But like I only have one sibling and she is so special to me. And like something about like listening to the song and imagining like Gerard's the older sibling. So like writing a song for my younger sister who's going through a tough
Siblings
time.
are
Like
just people who experienced all the same trauma you did.
exactly. Sibling relationships I think are
Super
so
important.
special.
Yeah.
So I think it's darling. And also this song is a fucking anthem. I'm not
So
afraid to
good.
keep on living. I'm not afraid to walk this world alone. Bitch.
Yeah.
I was listening to this one like walking into work. Well, I was literally listening to it walking through the West Loop, going to pick up Prince at the FedEx store. But I felt like the baddest bitch on the sidewalk. I was strutting to this song. I was like, I'm not afraid to keep on living.
I love that.
In My Chemical Romance movie,
Uh-huh.
this
Please
was
do.
the song that was played as the main character approached the final battle.
Yes!
It wasn't the final battle. It was like, yeah, we're about to fight this
I'm
big
getting
ass
hyped.
3-headed dragon
I love
in a
that.
high
Yup.
school gymnasium
Yeah.
during a volleyball game.
It's so good. And I just think about also like all the people who this album meant a lot to like at the time and how I mean, I think about like albums that I really loved and artists I really loved when I was young. I could totally see this one being like just so near and dear to the hearts of people who
Yeah.
were really into this. Like what a fucking mantra. I'm not afraid to keep on living for people who might have been kind of sad. I think
Yeah.
that's a huge message.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a nice positive way to end it. Like the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
album. Like, I don't know. It's so, and maybe that's why, like I said earlier, how, like I can listen to it over and over again. It never, it's never too sad.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like it's like at least, I don't know. It's a good ending.
Yeah. But does it end there?
Does it end? Let's make the listener listen to the whole minute 30 of silence before we talk about it. Ready, set, go. Roscoe didn't like that. I hope that picked up on the mic. This is kind of a fun bonus track. It gets back into the
Oh,
cabaret
Zach, it's
feel.
still playing. You don't know when it's going to
I
kick
don't
in.
know. Oh, you're still playing.
I'm still playing it. It could kick in
Let's
at a
just keep
moment's
talking about it,
notice.
and it'll kick in when it kicks in.
Yeah. I will say I love this song, and you'll hear kind of how it sounds, but I love sort of the transatlantic like campy accent that gets
Super, yeah.
Well, they encourage your complete cooperation.
Does it have any? It's not really part of the cinematic universe of the rest of the album, or is it?
Not really.
Not
it
really.
almost feels like a commercial for what happens.
It's
during
like at the
album.
after the movie where you wait like a Marvel,
the Marvel
like the
scene.
Marvel movies where you wait the whole movie and all of a sudden there's one random character from like the 1960s pops up and you're like, oh, I know. Oh, it's blood. I didn't like this song when I was a kid because like I was so serious and I was like, this album is so serious and dark. And then here at the end they're like, blood.
I'm Skippy
blood. I got
McDippy.
gallons of the stuff, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, they encourage your complete cooperation. Send you roses when they think you need to smile. I can't control myself because I don't know how. When they love me for it, honestly, I'll be here for a while. So give them blood, blood, gallons of the stuff. Give them all that they can drink and it will never be enough. So give them blood, blood, blood. Grab a glass because
There's a part of the song where I forget they say like I'm such a lousy fuck or something.
Yeah.
And he sings it like for like 4 he's like I'm such a lousy fuck.
Should we listen to it?
Well, in the clean version, it's just silence. It's like I'm such a lousy.
Nothing.
And then you just wait, and then it comes back.
So give the blood. Okay, let's do it justice.
I want to hear a giant long fuck on the podcast. Please.
Yeah.
adore me so, but it's really quite alarming, 'cause I'm such an awful fuck. I gave you blood, gallons of the stuff.
That's a well-placed F-bomb.
I feel like this
Yes.
is part of the cinematic universe. This is like after the patients died, and they become like one of those cute little ghosts that are just like, ooh, like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Got a little cut top
Just like,
hat
hi
on.
guys. It wasn't
kind
so
of-
bad.
It gives like Fallout energy.
Sure, yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Fallout Boy, but like Fallout the video
Yeah,
game.
because it's from the 20s.
Like very doomed
Yeah.
radio jingle. I'm so here for it.
Yeah, it's
I want to
fantastic.
talk like this all the time.
Shmee. I'm going to do a potty.
Go pee-pee, girl. Folks, we are back. And after, I was about to say like much heated debate, but
No.
Danny suggested something and we immediately were like, wait, that's perfect. So Danny, would you please award this Robrewski?
We're gonna award My Chemical Romance the EGOT award, an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony, and a hell yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Gerard Way. You really did it.
You really did it. You got an EGOT.
You got it.
So fucking good. Folks, we are Album Brews, and we will continue being Album Brews. If you want to check us out on Twitter and Instagram, it is at Album Rebrews. And if you want to take a look at our website, it is www.albumrebrews.com. Also, happy Pride, y'all. We're recording this in May, but it's
Hell
coming out
yeah.
in June.
Yeah.
Can I get a quick gay rights?
Gay rights?
Woo.
I don't know if that's true. Go on.
Gay rights!
Yeah.
To our queer listeners, I hope you find a little bit of time this month to, I don't know, celebrate. Have a gay little moment for yourself. We love you. Mwah.
Hell yeah. Mwah. Giant thank you to Cam and Bop, our editor and songwriter for their intro. Special thanks to Cam. Check him out at CamBop17 on Twitch and Twitter.
Huge fucking ginormous shout out to Danny Robles for coming and hanging out with us in Zach's sweaty little apartment
It's
for this
super sweaty, this episode.
and for bringing a fun ass album and a fun ass beer.
pairing. Check out Danny's band, CalicoLoco. If you like music that is loud, that is emo, that is gay, that is the musical interpretation of a bedazzled jacket, check out CalicoLoco on Instagram, calico.loco.
I'm not fucking kidding.
they've got
Songs of the summer.
Songs of the summer. They got new music coming out all July, all August, all September.
And when you see them live, not if,
When.
when, blow them a little kiss and tell them Album or Bruce sent you.
Danny, anything you want to say to the folks before we end this sweet little episode?
Hi guys, bye.
That was very
very
okay. So to take it home, the very last thing we do every single episode is we get very, very close to the mic and we whisper a very tender goodbye to everyone listening. So we're gonna do it in the same order that we did our intro. So I'm gonna go first. All right. Goodbye.
Good night.
Oh yeah.